Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Alright, so for today I have something very special that I want to showcase to you guys, and this right here is the BVS slash Justice League Batmobile by Jazzinc Dioramas. Now for those of you who haven't heard about this company, they're actually this small family-owned business that is based out in the Netherlands. And what's interesting about this company is that they're actually this small group of fans that is powered by collectors, and they produce all these really cool items that is based on the requests of the community. So if a community are requesting for Jazzinc to produce a certain type of product or a model, and you guys can see that a lot of people have provided their inputs as to what are the new projects that they want Jazzinc to make, and once they've managed to get enough people on board, then they will decide to proceed with the project. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's take a look inside. So the first thing that you guys will see upon opening up the box is that you will see this diorama base, and also on the bottom here we have the accessories that you guys can change it to become the Justice League version of the Batmobile. Now as you guys can see right here, this diorama base is actually quite huge. So from this design, we can see that they're trying to recreate the interior design of the Flying Fox, like the one that we saw in the Justice League movie. The diorama has all those sculpted details that Batman can use to strap the Batmobile in place. And on the back here, we have sort of like a velvet finish to avoid this diorama base from sliding. Alright, so now let's take a look at the weapons. So here are all the extra accessories that comes with this Batmobile that you guys will need to assemble. So there is a little bit of assembly required. However, I think that most of these are actually quite easy to assemble. Now as you guys can see here, we have sort of like a weathered look for this Batmobile. So it's not a clean look, it's gonna look a bit dirty and worn out just like in the movie. And one thing that I want to talk about is actually the springs here that you guys can see. Now I believe that this is one of the improvements that they've made for this 12 scale as compared to the 1/6 scale, because for the 1/6 scale I don't think that they had this spring. But I want to say that I'm not really a huge fan of weathered paint jobs. However, I still think that they did a pretty amazing job. Now I do wish that they would have given us more color detailings for the weapons here, because everything looks of the same color. It looks a bit too one-dimensional, so we can't really see the extra detailing of the guns and also the ammunition right there. Now for the weapons, it's actually quite easy for you guys to assemble later on, because they actually use magnets. So you guys will just need to pop it on and off, and it's going to be really convenient. Alright, so now we have this really nice looking driver's seat. We have again that silver dry brush paint job going on in the middle, and also a little bit of black color on the edges right here. And on the headrest, we have a little bit of orange color in there. And we will also get this massive cannon. So in order for him to go and fight Steppenwolf and the Parademons, he's going to need all the extra weapons that he can get. And this is actually the doors of this Batmobile. So there's a bit of squeaky sound there. Okay, and last but not least is we will also be getting these machine guns for the BVS mode of the Batmobile, and later on we'll be replacing it with these missiles to change it into the Justice League version. Okay guys, so now let's start off with the BVS Batmobile first. The design looks absolutely badass and incredible. I cannot explain to you just how awesome it is seeing it in person. Now this thing is actually quite huge, guys. One of the reasons that made me hesitate to purchase this piece is that I was afraid that it's gonna be too small. You know, for a 1/12 scale, I was afraid that it's not gonna have too much shelf presence. But I was wrong, guys. The size for me is actually quite perfect. It's not too small and it's not too huge, and it definitely still manages to have a good shelf presence without taking up too much space, and that is a good thing. Alright guys, so now that we've seen the BVS mode, now let's take a look at the Justice League version. So there we have it, the Justice League Batmobile with all its weapons installed along with his diorama base. And for me, the extra weapons makes this Batmobile looks way more intimidating than the BVS version. Now I'm so glad that I got this deluxe version, because it completes the overall look, and yeah man, it just makes it 100 times way better in my opinion. Now the paint job for this Batmobile is sort of like a weathered look, just like the one that we saw in the movie, because as you all know, Ben Affleck is a version of Batman that has been around for quite some time. So it's going to look a bit old and worn out. So of course it's not going to look clean and brand new just like the one that we saw for the 1989 Batmobile and also the Tumbler. Now as described in the box, this Batmobile does have light up functions both for the headlamps and also for the cockpit. Now in order for you guys to gain access to the battery compartments, you guys need to flip the Batmobile, and you guys will find the battery compartments underneath the Batmobile. And the lights are actually quite bright, and this Batmobile uses 2 AAA batteries. Now you guys can also fit your 1/12 scale Batman figures inside this Batmobile. However, I do not have any 1/12 scale figures lying around, so I can't really show it to you guys. Now I heard back then that the 1/6 scale version of this Batmobile had a lot of issues, especially for the first batch. You know, a lot of people complained that the diorama was cracked, there are a few inaccuracies, and due to it being really heavy, the Batmobile has sagged over time because the tires are not able to withstand its own weight. So it's really nice to see that they've made a lot of improvements to address the issues that they've had with the 1/6 scale Batmobile. Now for those of you who don't know, I read somewhere that Ben Affleck's Batmobile is actually a combination between the 1989 Batmobile and also the Tumbler. So we have the sleekness of the 1989's design and also the armored look of the Tumbler. So it's really nice to see that they've able to combine two of the best looking Batmobiles in cinema and make it into one really badass Batmobile, making this one of the most underrated Batmobiles to ever appear on screen. And this Batmobile has quite a number of decals on it. There's decals on the side doors, we have nose tab, charged surface, jet intake, all those really small decals that they've put. So we can't really see that in the movie, but it's nice to see that Jazzinc have provided us with all those decals to make the detailing pop up even more. Now this thing is actually really light. You guys can see me actually be able to hold it using one hand. Alright, so it goes to show that the engineering and also the materials that they use for this product is actually really light as well. So my final thoughts about this piece is that I will give it an overall rating of 9.3 out of 10. I do believe that this is a true work of art. It's a masterpiece by Jazzinc Dioramas, and I do wish that they would make a lot more 1 to 12 scale pieces in the future. Now for me, you guys can say that it is quite worth it because this is the only company in the world that offers a 1 to 12 scale BVS/Justice League Batmobile with this many details, and you guys can actually have an option to purchase only the BVS mode or the Justice League mode, and also it comes with this really cool diorama. Now if you guys are wondering how to purchase this, you guys can check out their website, and you guys can see that they provide payment plans to purchase all of their products up to 15 months. So if you guys are not able to pay for your products in lump sum payment, so you will have the option to pay for it via installments. So I think that's pretty cool. Alright guys, so that's all I can share with you guys for this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Kita jumpa lagi next video pula. Bye!